And
Yeah, isn't that too bad? Uh, uh,
not yet.
Okay, well, I'll stop it.
And mute every.
Last week we were talking about emptiness as something that we had to learn, the necessary healing that Jack Cornfield talks about, that we've got to, or through meditation very naturally. And I like that way of approaching. We try to heal. We forget that there's a healing mechanism built into us. Then why do we get sick? Because we block the natural healing mechanism of the body. So, for example, one of the reasons that being in fight or flight is so pernicious is because you can't digest your food when you're in fight or flight. Your immune system quits working. You quit transferring energy to your energy stores. It shifts your thinking to your rear brain instead of your logical brain. So there are all kinds of negative things that begin to cascade that are the literal dis-ease. So if you look at dukkha as dis-ease, lack of ease, it's because the natural processes of the body, which are energetic and are what we call spirituality, is not something esoteric. It's built in, it's hardwired, it's the Tao, it's the way things were designed to work. And what we're doing in meditation is we're removing the obstacles. So we're going to have an early meditation is going to be about removing obstacles, opening up the channels for that natural healing energy to begin to move through. Now, as we are doing that and we are removing obstacles, we are emptying out, literally emptying out. And as I've said, you are not a thing, you are a space. It's hard to get your mind around that I am an emptiness. But if you begin to notice in times when you're ventral, times when you're out of the dorsal gloom and doom, existential despair, you're out of the fight or flight, running away from life or trying to change it, and you settle into life in the way that the poets are going to talk about it in a minute, you begin to feel an expansiveness. You begin to feel an openness open up around you. Here's a poem. Poets point to this, as I say. Poets are very sixth chakra. They speak in images that are not logical arguments. They speak to something that you know intuitively. Like when I read the Transcendentalists, I go, I knew that. You're not saying anything I didn't know. I knew that, but I couldn't articulate it. That knowing we have that we're afraid to follow because it's not consensus reality. As Goethe says, don't tell the mass fool if you're going to try and get affirmation for what you're feeling. Turn to the poets, turn to the mystics. So this is from Naomi Shihab Nye.
Oh, I love her.
It is difficult to do with so much happiness. With sadness, there's something to rub against, a wound to tend with lotion and cloth. When the world falls in around you, you have pieces to pick up, something to hold in your hands like ticket stubs or change. But happiness floats. It doesn't need you to hold it down. It doesn't need anything. Happiness lands on the roof of the next house, singing, and disappears when it wants to. You're happy either way. Even the fact that you once lived in a peaceful treehouse and now live over a quarry of noise and dust can't make you unhappy. Everything has a life of its own. It too could wake up filled with possibilities of coffee cakes and bright peaches, and love even the floor, which needs to be swept, the soiled lemons and the scratched records. Since there is no place large enough to contain so much happiness, you shrug, you raise your hands, and it flows out of you into everything you touch. You're not responsible. You take no credit, as the night sky takes no credit for the moon, but continues to hold it, to share it, and in that way be known. There's no place large enough to contain so much happiness. Woo! Boy, am I there now. Okay. And that's part of what we're doing. What we're doing is making space for happiness. We're making space to live. We're giving ourselves living room instead of the confinements. All the confinements that you have been taught by judgmental or authoritarian figures. They can never get you to happiness. Happiness is your nature. That's why no one can give it to you. I can't do what do you get happy about? What do you gives you joy? I don't fucking know. It's a stupid question. Go out and explore. So the second half today is to get over the fear of emptiness, because ego hates emptiness. It wants to fill. It wants things. It wants to be solid. It wants to be grounded and rooted in things. What ego loves, spirit hates. And don't you get to points where you feel confined by your things, feel confined by your relationships, confined by your jobs, confined by your clothes, confined by everything, and just want to go. Brad, put your clothes on. And just want to go, pow, and explode. That's the spirit. That's what we need to hitch our wagons to, because that's what's going to take us home. So this place is the ventral part of your nervous system. It's why even in the midst of what you think are bad times, there can be a moment where you wake up and you feel that genuine sense of expansiveness, of hope, of rootedness, of energy and inspiration. It all comes together. This is not something esoteric. That's where everyone gets confused. It's not a place you get to by striving. It's a place you get to through allowing. It reminds me of the Donovan song. Few people get there quick by their chosen road. They don't know it's quicker to go by natural velocity. We're all trying to choose a road, choose a path, instead of taking this thing that we think is our dissatisfaction with the world. And it's not our dissatisfaction with the world. It's our longing for freedom. It's our longing to be outside the obstacles that we've created. So let's...
Pema's definition, which I love, I've been talking about happiness a lot in yoga because it's one of the meta phrases. May I be happy?
Yep.
May I enjoy happiness? I mean, what the heck is happiness? Why,
But we mistake it for pleasure. And happiness is a state of the energy that you are. It's the energy of being, okay? It's not an emotion. You don't see it, it doesn't light up parts of the body the way the mechanical and chemical and electrical stuff does.
Well, in your nervous system, so for example, Pema says happiness is a lack of suffering.
Okay, so
Period.
let me go to that.
Yeah.
Okay. An essential aspect of the Buddhist teaching, the difference between satisfying a desire and being released from desire, which is the difference between pleasure and peace. But we're conditioned to prefer pleasure and to pursue it relentlessly rather than to, hear the words, people, relax into joy. Relax into joy. The poems gathered here point to a different way of being in the world. They do so in part by inverting conventional valuations, twisting society's conventions. When Royakan, in his daily rounds of almgathering, is hijacked by the village children, he happily puts aside his begging bowl and joins their sing-songs and kickball. And when his behavior arouses the scorn of more practical-minded adults, Royakan asserts the deep power and absolute rightness of his joy. I kick the ball, and they sing. They kick, and I sing. Time is forgotten. The hours fly. People passing by at me and laugh, "Oh, why are you acting like such a fool?" And I nod my head, but I don't answer. I could say something, but why? Do you want to know what's in my heart? From the beginning of time, just this, just this, just this moment, just this. That's what's been in my heart, to come back to this moment like a child is, to that moment of eternity where everything is full with wonder, filled with joy, filled with expansion and for peace. He doesn't bother replying to the people who ridicule him, but he does tell us where joy can be found, in the present moment. Indeed, Ryokan's just this is Zen in a nutshell. Just this moment, nothing added, pure consciousness stripped clean of all our self-centered stories and all our desires. The people who pass by us are caught up in reaction, judgment, aversion, just like we are, but fuck them. All Ryokan does not judge them. The poem would be wonderfully dramatized as a two-way of being, one that is childlike, spontaneous, open to sudden delight, the other rigid, reactive, always with better things to do than play with children or act like a fool. Many of these poems have this subversive quality. Learn from them. Learn from them. Be encouraged. Find inspiration. What is courage? Courage is finding the energy to move through your fear. What carries us through fear? Love. What is love? Love is attraction. Love is what's drawing us out of our dead ways, our dead living, inviting us once again to the freshness, getting out of the staleness, into this present. Like vacations are so wonderful because we can't lapse into our routine. But what do? We immediately start setting up our rituals, make sure the pantry's stocked, and make sure we do everything, we nail it down instead of just exploring all the possibilities. So today is going to be kind of a two-part guided meditation. The first one's going to ask you to imagine laying down and having a river run through the top of your head, clear out all your negative emotions, and then we're going to expand into the sky once we're cleared out. And we're going to follow that wherever it takes us. So I would say find a comfortable place. Guy, I was actually kidding when I said don't lay down. But if you do lay down for this meditation, which would work, be sure to keep your intensity up, okay? So we're always walking a balance between relaxation and intensity. Too relaxed, we fall asleep. Too intense, we can't focus. So begin by closing your eyes. Finding your breath. And imagine yourself in a very serene place with a stream running through it. And using your active imagination, begin to fill in the details of this place. Imagining the beauty that surrounds you. The sounds of the running water, the birds, the wind in the trees, the scents of the earth, trees, the plants around you. Using your inner senses to fill in the color, particularly the color green, heart chakra. And feel the peace of wild things. As you breathe, feeling the peace, the energy of the place, interacting with the energy of your body. Breathing in the peace and the serenity. And as you exhale, imagine this peaceful, serene energy washing through you and naturally cleansing you, like water running over stone, revealing your true colors, your true nature. Breathing in the peaceful serenity and beauty of this place. Letting it wash through you and bringing out your true character. The qualities revealed in being ventral of a sense of well-being, a feeling of joy, of expansiveness, of excitement, curiosity. And as you exhale, feel it washing away all the crud that obscures your true self, just naturally without effort. A baptism by nature. Waters of the Spirit washing through the energy channels in your body and releasing all that's blocked. As you exhale, feel that energy being washed away, carried away. This is a power greater than you, restoring you to sanity and serenity. And all you need to do is fully surrender all the constrictions. The more the energy flows through, the more open you are. Washing away all the debris that demeans you, that diminishes you, all the shame and guilt you've been taught just washed away in this moment. Feeling your essential goodness, beauty of your true nature being revealed. Serenity, the peace and beauty of this place, which is a reflection of your true nature. Breathed in, washing away the doubts and the anxieties, the ways you check yourself, the way your life becomes awkward. And as all that heaviness is washed away, Feel the incredible lightness of simply being in this moment. Feeling this peaceful energy washing through, cleansing out all that obscures your lively self, all that stifles your zest for life. Just breathing, releasing, and feeling your true self beginning to shine. Doing Gestalt shift away from the obscuring to what's awakening. Where your awareness goes, the energy goes, and feel now that stirring of spontaneity, the joy of being alive. Awakening you to the possibility of expressing your true self. And as you settle down, quiet down, smooth out, begin to feel the expansiveness surrounding you. The emptiness that is the vast expanse of all that is, the emptiness of a summer sky full of stars, or the emptiness of a vista off a mountain, of the horizon of the ocean where you can see beyond and you feel the ego start to quiver and quake, and yet the spirit longs to lose itself. And now let the openness of life begin to draw you out. Allowing yourself to be open by the expansiveness. And just breathe and listen. Feeling your heart beginning to open, your chest like an empty bowl. The expanse of life resting in your heart. And perhaps beginning to sense the exhilaration, being open. As open and as expansive on the inside as you are on the outside. Like a sun revealed by the passing of clouds. Feeling everything growing warm and bright. And begin to find any energies with the quality of curiosity, a desire for discovery. Allowing awareness to pull out the urge to explore, to feel the joy of anticipation, the exhilaration of inspiration, the excitement of creativity. Without the nagging concerns of ego, without the compression, enjoying the vast reaches of experience, the infinite potential for creativity. And feel the energies in you that want to create, to express, to manifest something that's never been before. As one of Linnell's teachers says, if you don't dance your yoga dance, who will? Who will sing your song? With exploration and discovery comes the urge to express and to create. And creation leads us want to discover more in an upward spiral, feeding each other, carrying each other forward. Our Sangha is an expression of others who will support us in this dance, to nourish our creative energies. So sense that universal connection, that it's the universe wanting to dance through you, through us. Bringing your awareness to where you are in this life, in this moment, and experiencing the future not as a threat, but open as the skies themselves. Paying careful attention to where the pull is. Giving yourself permission to bring it to the light of day, permission to create, to go for what you want, explore, learn, express, commune. Give those feelings form as we enter the silence. one of the great poets. I've got about 5 books in my head right now, trying to be written. One of them is on spiritual poetry. And one of my favorite is Rilke, the German poet who talks a lot about the bourgeois man who suddenly hears the call of the spirit, he says, and leaves his family around the dining room table and goes out and disappears following the spirit. And that speaks of the kind of courage we have to have at times. And this is, I think, would be our Sanga's poem if we had a poem that we could agree on. And again, some people in the crowd wake up. They have no ground in the crowd. Listen to that. They're not grounded in the crowd mentality, the herd mentality. They're grounded in life itself. When Jesus speaks, he's not speaking with the authority of learned people. He's speaking from the ground of his being. It's God who speaks, not me, in his life, speaking to you through my voice. That's a prophetic voice, to speak for God. This energy we're talking about is God, what the ancients meant by God. This voice drawing you out is God. God talking to Jonah, saying, go do this. My direct ancestor was St. Bridget of Sweden. After raising 6 kids, she got a voice in her head that said, you need to go talk to the Pope and tell him to get back to Rome. He was debauching himself, getting drunk, hanging out in France. And so this little housewife from Scandinavia goes down to talk to the Pope and chastise him. Grounded in the crowd? No. Think of the courage it took to confront him. And guess what? He actually did go back. They call her God's ambassador. They have no ground in the crowd, and they emerge according to much broader laws. Much broader laws. They carry strange customs with them. You don't look like other people. They don't recognize you. You make them nervous. Good. Good. As one woman says, that's the badge of authenticity. Wear it well. Wear their anxiety around you as a sign of your authenticity and take pride in it. They demand room for bold gestures. The future speaks ruthlessly through them. Future speaks ruthlessly through them. We're a time where our country needs visionaries. We need leaders. We've lost our vision. It's trying to speak through us, and we keep it jammed up because we got dishes to wash. We got things to do. We've got to make those compulsory visits. We've got to do our ritual shopping. We've got to do the stupid stuff we do to organize our life and feel comfortable, instead of giving voice to silent thunder. So, what y'all got? If that wasn't a throwdown, I don't know what is. So who's going to pick it up? Put Tommy to sleep. Woody, you can't talk.
He's working on it. I know.
I can talk.
Yes,
I figured it out.
Yay, Woody.
I have a voice.
Oh, girl.
I have a dream.
I have a dream.
Boy, there you go.
Last Saturday was Cherry Days in Paonia, and I'm part of the immigration protection team here. And we had a booth, and our booth was right next to the Republican booth, which I thought, oh, this is democracy. This is
There
good.
you go.
This
Yeah.
is democracy.
Diversity. Okay,
but
say that.
Well, it's typically works okay where I'm from, but boy, there was another gal, friend of mine, and we were sitting at the booth, and this guy comes over and points right in my face and said, "You are a terrible person. You want this country full of murderers and rapists," and just went on and on. And Oh, yeah. So there wasn't much I could say, because he's where he's at.
Yeah.
And yeah. And I didn't know until afterwards, one of the gals on our team runs an art gallery, and his wife had been thrown out of the art gallery because she displayed a pride flag, and the wife said, "Oh, that's an abomination. You got to take that down. Gay people are an abomination. Get that." So she had been asked to leave the gallery. So that's what we were up against. And yeah, it kind of surprised me because things like that don't usually happen in Paonia. We generally live, people with differing opinions tend to live side by side pretty peacefully. And so I don't know where I was going with that. I guess I have a voice. Yeah, I have a voice in my actions that day. I chose, yeah.
But more important than the voice was your presence. And,
Yeah.
you know, I think I've told you about during the Gulf War, we have a woman in Shreveport who is our Mother Teresa. Uh, and she would lead a lot of those peace marches, but she was out of town and asked me to lead it. So I go, and we're going to march down to the senator's office. And there are only about 20 of us, and there's 200 counter demonstrators surrounding us. And they're trying to shout us down. They're making fun of us and calling us names. And so they start singing, "Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain." And then they don't know the rest of the words. So our group picked it up and then they joined us and then we all started singing the song together.
Mm.
But we're all Americans. All of a sudden, oh, you all know this song? Okay. So we go marching down and we cross a major street called Texas Street, and they had formed a moving line to block us from getting through. And so I just stood blocked and nodded and made eye contact with every single person that walked by. And finally, one woman stopped in her tracks and said, "Go ahead and go through," and let us go through. So then we go down to the parking lot in the Senate office and we get on our knees and we start a silent prayer. And again, the mockers are there. "Who are you praying to? God isn't going to listen to you. You don't believe in Jesus. Are you praying in Jesus' name? Do you believe in the saving power of God, Christ's blood shed?" All this nonsense. Slowly, because we didn't answer, they quieted down, quieted down, quieted down, and about 10 of them joined us. Not a word was spoken, but the presence transformed a bunch of
Mhm.
lives that day.
Mhm. Well, I'm doing this because of this sangha, because of Pam's reminder at one point at what Ram Dass said. If this is the time of Aquarius, our job is to quiet our minds, open our hearts, and relieve suffering. And if this is the time of Armageddon, there's more to it than that. But the our job is to quiet our minds, open our hearts, and relieve suffering. And so I really knew kind of what to do about the first two parts. And I thought, so what suffering do I want to work on besides my own? And it was the
Start there.
immigrant. It was my immigrants. It was the immigrants. So that's why I'm part of that team, Pam, because of, your reminder.
I, I've had a sort of similar thing happen. We've had all sorts of immigrant raids here in Ventura County, and daily people are going in, including myself, just sitting with the immigrants, being human shields. I actually got a vest because they're shooting rubber bullets and a gas mask because they're spring, and I'm just being. That's
Thank
all
you.
I do.
Powerful. Bless you
Thank
both.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And just a reminder, um, when I was in Chicago, I went to a celebration of Women Week, and they were honoring women who were doing different acts of social service in the city. And this one's got a shelter for battered women, and this one's protecting elderly rights. This one's set up a pantry. This one's done uh, this for even back then. We had Cuban refugees coming in, and we housed the gay Cuban refugees at my church. We were part of that. But what I noted was the real body of Christ, that every one of those women was successful because they picked one area and they fully stayed focused on that instead of trying to be all things to all people. And what I hear is that each of you has found your niche, you know. And I've always said in the living body of Christ, someone has to be the asshole, and that's me. And Brad is the naughty bits of Christ. So think what's your part in this thing that needs to happen? Just what calls you? What, like each of these women?
Everyone plays a different instrument in an orchestra, same as the body of Christ.
Yep. Anybody else? Never mind. Go ahead.
I just want to say that when you were talking about letting the creativity flow through you, um, I have an art practice, but I haven't been painting lately. And I could just feel all the resistance to all the reasons that I'm not doing that fly away during this. So after I'm done, I'm going into my studio.
Great. That's it. And just so you know, the first part of that, what suffering do I need to deal with first? Your own. What is suffering? The blockage. The blockage is the suffering. The Buddha, all life is suffering. What's the root of all suffering? Self-centered desire, my attachment to all these things that I think are more important than my spirit. What's the end of suffering? Removing self-centered desire. So Ganesh, I am, last week I think I said, this is the embodiment of Saraswati. I'm the embodiment of Ganesh. Ganesh is the obstacle remover. They use elephants to remove obstacles in the road. What I do as a counselor, I remove obstacles. What do I do as a body worker? I remove obstacles. What I do as a teacher, I remove obstacles, get rid of the obstacles. So that the first thing was remove the obstacles and let that flow. And so often, has it ever occurred to you the reason you're sick is because you're killing your spirit? That the root of it, if your thing is you're repressing the very life force energy that you need to be healthy. That's all I teach. Go back and listen to every teaching I do. Is he removing an obstacle to what I want to live in me? That's it.
I I spent some time this weekend revisiting The Spiral Dance by Starhawk.
Yeah, old classic, man. That's 50 years old.
And I was kind of struck by the fact that I had opened I didn't start at the beginning because I've read it all the way through a few times, and oftentimes I just open it and look at what I highlighted, and I had opened the page to some stuff that she had wrote about suffering. And it was interesting to me today to hear you say I don't know if these were your words or if you were reading something, I don't remember, Bart, but the gist of it was that the end of suffering is not about, it's not about getting what you want. It's about, or that there's a difference between alleviating suffering by getting what you want versus kind of stop wanting. It's just
Yeah,
stop desiring.
right.
That's very poignant. That's gonna stick with me, I think, probably all week.
Well said.
So one of the yamas and niyamas in yoga, and any of you who haven't studied classical yoga with Linnell, um, you think it's about postures, and that's only one of the 8 limbs of yoga. There are observances and abstentions that are the first part before you even get to breath work or the postures. And one of them is the practice of contentment. Santosha, it even sounds inviting, doesn't it? And that's learning to land in the moment and say, this is enough. This is enough. As a matter of fact, this moment is so full. I've got chills all over my legs because I can't contain the energy of this moment. And when he says just this,
Mhm.
oh, when you're content with this moment, you're empty and full. That's the paradox. You empty of all the obstructions, and then your vessel fills with the life force energies of the universe. Woo, baby! Yeah! Let's get it on. Now, not tomorrow. No regrets for not doing it yesterday. It starts now. It starts through me. Don't tell yourself stories about when or woulda, coulda, shoulda, can't, what if. It doesn't fucking matter. It's just made up stories to keep you in chains.
I had a similar experience this morning as to some of the other, as to what Woody and Pam and Bart have been talking about. I woke up in existential crisis and did some meditating and journaling and read some EA and AA literature, and basically what cleared all the blockages was the job of just what Woody quoted. And for me, the language that came to me was like loving the ignorance in other people, because I'm a part of that ignorance as well.
Mhm.
So loving the ignorance in myself and loving the ignorance in other people. And that was the only way through for me. That was like the only thing that cleared up all the blockages of being in a crisis, along with some meditation and some journaling and some reading. So anyway,
Great. Have we like stunned everybody into insensibility? Here's something for you from Rumi, Matthew. Love is an endless act of forgiveness.
Wow.
Forgiveness is an endless act of love. Isn't that beautiful? Love is an endless act of forgiveness. Forgiveness is an endless act of love. And forgiving ourselves is fundamental. We carry guilt, shame around as a burden that just blocks us. And the reason for forgiving yourself, and why every spiritual teacher will tell you, don't get into that, is not a moral statement, it's a blockage statement. Guilt is blockage. Shame is blockage. Remorse is blockage. Fear is blockage. anger, blockage, 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 blockage. So it's not you're a bad person for doing it. It's just you're killing your inner kid. It's what Swami Kripalu says. He says, for every time you criticize yourself, you break your child's heart. You cut yourself off from the well of love, which is your nature. So when I say don't beat yourself up around me, I'm saying I can't sit and watch you kill your kid in front of me and say, oh, good, let's talk about that some more. No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to watch you cut yourself in front of me. No, I will jump in and interrupt you, and I'm not going to apologize. Because you do it unconsciously, but that does not make it right any more than institutional racism or homophobia or neurodivergent hate. Doesn't make it right because you're unconscious.
So is this what's are the blockages what's referred to in the sutras as the kleshas?
The kleshas, I'd have to refresh my memory on that, but kleshas is, do you remember?
Glaciers.
I have trouble sometimes going from,
Yeah.
okay, mental afflictions or obstacles that hinder
Obstacles.
spiritual growth. Yes, sir.
Glaciers.
Very much so. Thank you. Thanks for the reminder. Yeah. Do you want to go ahead and read some more of that?
Mental afflictions or obstacles that hinder spiritual growth and lead to suffering. Boom. Way to go, guy.
Okay, Matthew.
They are considered the root causes of karma and samsara, the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Understanding and overcoming these kleshas is crucial for achieving liberation, moksha.
Spell it.
Klesha, Klesha.
See, we
Not
have,
going to see that on Wordle.
no. So,
No.
just so you know, we have a mixed marriage. Linnell is Hindu and I'm Buddhist. So, translating, I try to be fluent in Hindu, but I get embarrassed sometimes. I need to count on my homie. There's the lovely Oscar. Get your face on camera, boy.
There he is.
Oh, you handsome dude. There he is. It's been a while we've seen Bentley and Oscar. Good to see you, guy.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
All righty. Just in time to almost out. Let's
do
go,
it.
homie.
Unmute.
I got living to do.
Deep breath in. Wow.
Wow.
Thank you all. Love you.
My living this week was going to my grandson's punk rock concert.
Wow.
Baby.
For you.
Yeah.
You're a wild one, Woody.
Wild one.
Bye, guys. I got to get into the garden.
Go to
Okay.
it.
Here.
It's fire. There you go.
Thank you.
Got to get ourselves back to the guy.